It's always the best time to buy real estate. I'm going to repeat that. It's always the best time to buy real estate. Well, what do you mean, Bryan? We're in a declining market. Inventory's high. Interest rates are through the roof. There's no good deals. We should hold off. The market's going to crash. I'm going to say it again. It's always the best time to buy real estate. What am I specifically referring to here? Regardless of market conditions, there's always going to be real estate that's the right deal, which is what we're referring to in this video. For the masses, it's one category, and we'll discuss it. For people who are looking for investments and to build wealth and to diversify their portfolio, that's a separate one. Current market circumstances for people who are barely being able to get by, the interest rate puts them out of the market, they can't afford a home, they don't make enough income. Absolutely, right now, today in 2025, as I'm shooting this video, not a good time, not the best time for them to buy. However, if I'm looking to invest, especially me being an agent and being on the inside, or let's say I'm another person on the outside, but I know agents and I have access to insider information, or people who are out there in the real world prospecting and finding deals all the time, regardless if it's 08, 09, 2010, 15, 20, 25, 24, I'm going to be able to find smoking deals. My team, the investors that I work with, find deals every week, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% below market value. Do we care what the market conditions are? No. We would still, and we still buy those properties. I've bought properties over the last, 10 years roughly now that I've been building my real estate portfolio. And in that time, the markets that I bought in have been up, down, in between, interest rates up. It hasn't all been booming or a great time or the worst time. It's been all in between. But the right deal, regardless of the market, is the best time to buy it. Why? You need to be in a position to purchase it in the first place. But you need to understand that when you start operating at a different level and wanting to get to a different level, you have to break conventional thought processes and thinking. This can apply to the regular buyer in the market too, because even right now, again, if they're in an okay financial position, they can find a deal. This is where connections come in, being a little bit more savvy and having the right person working with you if you're a regular buyer, which we do for our clients all the time. But the category of people looking for investments, a second home, to build their real estate portfolio, for even more so for them, it does not matter. So yes, we can objectively look and say, well, the market's not that good right now. Sure, inventory is high in a lot of places, prices are flattening, interest rates are high, there isn't a lot of confidence economically and from the consumers, or even just people in general. Sellers are taking the home off the market. Most people are listing their homes way overpriced, thinking it's 2020 and 2021, right? So new construction is behind. There's a lot of economic factors that we can look at, sure. But at the end of the day, again, regardless of market conditions, if you find the right deal and the numbers are good, are you going to buy the property? Of course. So we have to see past, take the veil from out in front of our eyes and understand the concept behind this video. If you move according to what I'm talking about in this video, you will, regardless of market conditions, be able to kill it. Now, with that said, why is the most amount of wealth created right after crashes or in the down markets? It's because of the concept in this video, among many others. People were ready, they had liquidity, they had the financial capacity, and then when the people got desperate and then the property started coming on the market for way cheaper, what did? They had the money and the resources to snatch everything up. When I started my real estate career, getting licensed back in 2012 and eventually getting licensed in 2013, I was working in an office in Southern California at that time with a bunch of people who killed it after the crash. These guys that had been in the business for a long time, them and other investors, they had a bunch of liquidity, millions of dollars that they had built up through building their businesses, fixing and flipping and other investments, and they were licking their chops and waiting for the market to crash. What happened? All the values in Los Angeles dropped. Now, you get a house in the hood probably for $600,000 or $700,000. Back then, they were buying properties for $100,000 or $200,000 or less in Los Angeles. Now, they bought dozens and dozens, and some of the investors that we know bought hundreds. And slowly they started selling them later. Some of them they held and they rented. But think about all the money and wealth they were able to create at that time. So while everyone else is retracting, sure, they had to have the money and be in the position to execute, but they had to think ahead. Instead of retracting like everybody else, they flipped that mindset and they were able to create millions of dollars of wealth in a very short amount of time. So this video serves 2 points. One, to put yourself in that position to take advantage, regardless of the market conditions, whether it's a crash or whether it's right now, where on the outside it doesn't look good, but you can still go in and you can find the right deals. Part of it is being in the position to be able to execute and take advantage of the opportunity. But the other one is being able to see and spot the opportunity. Because if we stop, if I talk to somebody right now who believes the news and who would be potentially, and a lot of people watching this video, if they own property, this is something that I do for my business. By the way, if you're a real estate agent watching this, this is something that will absolutely transform your business. I turn past clients and future clients into investors by educating them on these things. And this is a great way, not only as a consumer, to watch this type of video and turn into an investor and buy more properties, because it's a lot easier than you think. But if you're an agent, this creates a UVP, a unique value proposition that separates you from other agents. So going back to the original point, if somebody's unwilling to even listen to me about this, they could potentially have the opportunity to buy a property, but because they believe the consensus and the nonsense, they won't even look at it or be open to this idea. So part of this is a mental battle too. If you just buy into the news and you believe all the clickbait titles and all the negativity out there, well, you're not going to be able to take advantage of it. Whenever there's an issue, whenever things aren't good, if you look closely enough, you will find opportunities. And right now, there are opportunities out there in the real estate market. You just have to find them. A lot of things have come out. Wholesaling, creative financing, assuming loans, right? I've done it all. I've been a part of a lot of those transactions, and people are building crazy wealth. I'm looking at potentially getting seller financing on a property here in Miami that I can buy from an owner that, dude, if I do, it's going to be awesome because the upside potential of that property is huge. I'm trying to lock in 0% interest rate on the seller financing, but if I have that property, I can Airbnb it or rent it out for a fortune out here in Miami. So I'm thinking long term. And I'm going to get it for a way better price. And the owner's going to be happy because they kind of want to unload it. It's kind of a unique situation. Perfect. They're not in a position to hurt, but they like me. They tried to sell the property before and they wanted too much for the home. I brought them way down on the price. We're trying to negotiate the details. It's not for sure yet, but I'm going to love that. Now, I'm going to be able to bypass banks and all that stuff. The lady's going to be the bank. We already know each other. We already have a relationship established. She's not going to check my financials. We're good. You can do that. You can't do that if you just do everything the conventional way. Now, sure, there's still going to be a vetting process, of course, but it's not going to be the same as buying it traditionally. And she's the bank now. I don't have to go to a big lending institution. But this is what I'm talking about. Opportunities out there, and it's always the right time to buy real estate. Does the deal make sense? That's really what we're focused on here. So I really encourage people, whether you're an agent or a consumer, to start exploring these things a little bit differently. There's a whole big world out there of opportunity. And if you look at it right and you look beyond and deeper than the narrative and what's being pushed, there's a lot of money to be made, wealth to be created, and plenty of opportunities for you to capitalize on. All right, anything else I can do for you, let me know. Drop a comment for the algorithm, subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.